I said that is not enough reason. So if that is not enough reason, they are being unfair to the memory of the late prophet, because naturally people will want to take the second option, that is the reason, that maybe he was a member of a cult, and that is why they are insisting. Let me tell you the truth. In Africa, every kingdom is immersed in occultism.
All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the End Time Truth Television channel. We urge you to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell icon by selecting all, so that the next time we upload a new video, you will be among the first persons to be notified by Google. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, shalom.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm just going to play you directly the video where the monarch of the place where T.B Joshua hailed from spoke of the plans they have about his burial. I would like you to listen. I'd like you to listen with understanding, please. Don't be biased, don't be one-minded, just be open-minded and listen to that. And then I'll be seeing you at the end of the video. I'm going to read to you what they said was the reason, or is the reason why they want him to be buried in his homeland. I'll be talking to you on that after you have listened to you have watched the video. Thank you very much. Please stay to the end of the video. You will probably like what I have to say there.
You personally, as the king of this kingdom, how you would describe T.B Joshua?
He's a lovely man, and he's care for everybody. Yes, we are going to miss him so much. Since 1:00 a.m. yesterday till now, I've not slept. In fact, I have to cut short my interview because when I talk, I'll be crying again. So, we know there's no leaf that drop from tree that God will not know about it. Nobody kills him. He has time. I've finished the job he come for. That's the truth of the matter. But my trouble is that his wife and the children should not allow them to bury him in Lagos. We are not going to take it lightly. He's from this town and we want him back here. That's the only trouble I have now. Yes, I've not have access to the wife, and I know I'm going to talk to her. Yes, she's not from here. That's another trouble now. So she can decide anything she wants, but we are not going to take it lightly. We are not going to take that from anybody. We have to bury him. So,
When I don't hear from our king, he don't insist say our late pastor T.B Joshua must be buried in Arigidi the Akoko. Now time go tell wetin go unfold. For now, we'll give you more story later. We dey live now for the house of the elder brother of Pastor T.B Joshua, wey die last Saturday. And as una dey see, na so people come here, come pay condolence visit to him elder brother, wey dem dey console am. And him elder brother dey here, and he don ready to talk to us. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. Ẹ bá wa sọ orúkọ yín.
Sunday Balógun,
Báwo ni ẹ ṣe jẹ́ sí olóògbé?
ọmọ ìyá mi.
Ọmọ ìyá àti
All right, thank you very much for being there still. God bless you. Right, since you have watched and you have made it up to this point, I'm going to read to you what they gave us the reason why they are insisting that T.B. Joshua must be buried in his homeland. I want to... Okay, let me read it first. This information, the credit is to The Nation newspaper. Now, the reporter's name is Osagio Tabor, reporting from Akure. The monarch of Arigidi Akoko, Obayinu Saolani Kwekun, on Monday explained why the town is pushing for the burial of Prophet T.B Joshua in the community. Prophet T.B Joshua hailed from Arigidi Akoko, speaking with The Nation at Arigidi. Oba Olani Kwekun said other clergymen like Prophet Moses Orimolade was buried in his Ekare hometown. Oba Olani Kwekun stated that burying T.B Joshua in Arigidi would ensure his philanthropic legacy remained in the heart of the people. He said the late founder of Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN, touched persons living in every nook and cranny of Akoko land. Oba Olani Kwekun said his greatest regret was that T.B Joshua could not complete the university project in Arigidi. He would bring rice to the people whenever we requested. He hated to see people go hungry. He was instrumental to the electrification of many communities in Akoko land after years of darkness, the monarch has said. So this is what they gave us the reason why they are pushing for the man to be buried in his homeland. Now, I'd like to say that I'm an Igbo man, and if you know what I mean, if you are a Nigerian, you know what I mean. You understand that it is quite difficult for an Igbo man to be buried in a strange land. You know, many Igbo men that died in foreign land, you know, their families would always find means, even if the man has not gotten enough money to be used to transport his body back home. The family members will try as much as possible to be able to take his body down. Even many who died in the US, in UK, you know, in far hinterland, you know, because there is the culture that we have that that the head of a king, you know, it is not supposed to be lost in a foreign land. That is a parable in our place. But T.B Joshua, for him, he's from the Yoruba tribe, and I'm not trying to be tribal, no tribal sentiment, but this is what is obtained amongst us here. Now, if a Yoruba man travels to a place like, maybe from his own state to another state, and there he's able to acquire land, and even if it is a foundation that he puts in that land, when he dies, he is commonly, and the preferred place that he will be buried will be in that place where he bought land, irrespective of where he came from. I wouldn't know much about other tribes, but I have lived with the Yoruba people for a very long time. I started living in Yoruba land as early as 1990, and I actually started living in Akure, Ondo State, and I came to Lagos 1993. So I've spent quite a long number of years in Yoruba land. So I understand this fact very, very well. Now, I've just read to you the reasons given by the monarch as per why they would want their son to be buried in his place of birth. Now, they have that right, but I don't know if you also would allow me to give my own input. T.B Joshua didn't die childless. He didn't die without a family. You know, he had a wife and had children. The stance of the king here is like, whether the wife likes it or not, she must not decide where her husband must be buried. Now, if the condition for him to be buried the reason for him to be buried, the reason why he must be buried in his native land is just because of his philanthropy, then I would say that that is flawed, that is unreasonable, because he also touched the lives of many that are not from his place of birth. He touched many. I would want to believe that there are people in South Africa who will also excuse me, who will also attest to the fact that his philanthropy reached them. So if philanthropy is just the reason why they are insisting with this, and they are even ready to, slug it out with the immediate family of the man, I want to say that it is flawed. Now, let me give you some understanding. Now, there are two reasons why this might be the cause. I'm not concluding anything. And for you, followers of T.B Joshua, please, for once, be matured and listen. All right? For all the videos I've done, I've respected the memory of the man, and I've not spoken ill of the man. And what I want to say now is not as though I want to castigate the man. But these two reasons, I have almost covered one from what the man said. Now, one of the reasons is that this is only possible, for a man that is well revered in his place, a man that is well loved in his place, a man that the people appreciate, a man that was close to his roots. And these people don't want to kind of forget the memory of this man. So they want him to be buried amongst them. When I spoke about my tribe, what we do is similar to that of the Jews. You remember when Israel died in Egypt, that he was not buried in Egypt. He was carried to the burying place that his grandfather bought, where he was buried, and his wife was buried there too. And so that was where Israel was taken to, and that was where his wife, I think Rachel, was also buried. Now, but in the case of Joseph was more or less a king in Egypt. But Joseph made also a demand, a request of his brethren. He said, please don't bury me in Egypt. When God would have visited you and you want to go, carry my bones to bury me in our place where God would have settled you. And so for over 400 years, the bones of Joseph were kept intact. And the day they were leaving Egypt, they took the bones. And then the day he was buried, there was a remark. So this is a culture of the people, and our culture is similar to that. Now, but in this case, it is not really a culture for the tribesmen or the tribe from where T.B Joshua came, and neither was it a request from T.B Joshua that whenever he dies, just like Joseph did, that he must be taken back home, to be buried amongst his grandfathers. From my place, cemetery business is a very bad business. If you come to maybe a place like Anambra State, Imo State, Enugu State, Ebonyi State, Abia State, any of the 5 eastern states, to come and buy an empty space that you want to do cemetery business, you will run away from that, because there won't be business for you. We don't believe even in burying people in the cemetery. The only places you may find a cemetery, and that was in the olden days, cemeteries that were owned by churches like Roman Catholic, and there are special people that were buried in those places, So I have said that the only reason why one of the reasons why this could be is that these people love this man. But if you love him, you cannot love him more than his family. You cannot love him more than his wife. So it will be unfair to deny his wife an impute where her husband must be buried. Now, the second reason, which I am not saying is the reason, please get me right. I am not saying that this is the reason. We have had, issues of some men who died, being clergymen as well, or claiming to be Christians. But on the day of their burial, you will see different groups emerging, demanding right to the burial rights. There is a court in this country. It was brought by a reverend, an Anglican reverend. Is a court, the Ogoni fraternity. You can Google it. This court was brought in by a reverend. I'm not saying a member. I'm not saying a cultist. A reverend, a preacher, brought the court to Nigeria. Ogoni. The court is over 100 years old in Nigeria and is very popular and dangerous. Now, the thing is that when any member of that court dies, you would see the members. They will come, and they must have access to the body of this person. Please hear me. I'm just laying a foundation. Now, we have had issues where some clergymen or some so-called Christians died, and the day of burial, you would see chaos, trouble. The church is claiming that he was their member. The fraternity come to claim that he was their member. And so there will be an impasse until in the middle of it, there will be a compromise. Either the church will be too shocked to believe that this man was part of them and yet was doing this, and so they will give way for these fraternity members to do whatever they want to do. That is one. So why I'm saying this is that there could be some kind of close relationship between T.B. Joshua and the chiefs in his homeland. I'm not attributing him now to cult. There could be a very close relationship because I discovered that it's like his portrait was also displayed or was hanging in that king's palace. That showed that he was really a revered man. He was really an important person in that community. So that importance may actually go deeper than being being a philanthropist. He may probably have been given a chieftaincy title. No, I'm just saying, we don't have that report. He may probably have been given a chieftaincy title either on his absence. And, that could have formed a kind of affinity, very close affinity between him and these people. And that makes it important that this one is an Ijoye, is a chief. And this chief must not be buried outside. I'm just trying to be light here because some persons may misunderstand me. So I'm just trying to take it on the surface. So it's either that he is a member of the inner caucus of the ruling class, but because of his ministry work, he is not always available, and he can never be available because of the distance and the ministry work. So now in his death, it is quite natural that the ruling class would want to have full participation in the burial rites of their own. Please get me right. I've not said T.B. Joshua was a member of Ogoni fraternity before. Before you throw your stone, be reasonable, be intelligent for once. And I have not said that he was a member of any fraternity. I didn't say he was a member of any cult. But I am painting that these are just the only two reasons why this is possible. Now, why I am saying this is that the reasons they gave here, because of his philanthropy, I said that is not enough reason. So if that is not enough reason, they are being unfair to the memory of the late prophet, because naturally people will want to take the second option, that is the reason, that maybe he was a member of a cult, and that is why they are insisting. Let me tell you the truth. In Africa, every kingdom is enmeshed in occultism. Every kingdom you see, Okay, I don't know of your place, but let me just talk about my country. It is almost 99.99% impossible for you to see any king or kingdom in our culture in Nigeria that, irrespective of the culture, that is free from occultism. So when a king and the kinsmen of this man, the chiefs, are insisting that their son must be buried, that the wife must not try anything, funny, it is going to give a rise to the thought that T.B Joshua belonged to any of the cults that that kingdom is woven around. And so this is my take on it. Please remember, I have not said conclusively that T.B Joshua belonged to any cult. All right. So thank you, and God bless you. And that is the other thing I saw in that video that I won't say now, maybe later. Because I was shocked to see that picture that I saw, the last picture that I saw there. It doesn't really say good of all these other things that we are hearing, all this philanthropic aspect of things. But I'm going to talk about it, and I will balance it, because sometimes we have irresponsible siblings who are just so irresponsible because they have an egbon that is always bringing money. So I'm going to talk about that in another video. But till then, please be kind enough to respect me while you are putting down your comments. Even if you don't agree with what I said, it is okay to disagree. But if you're a Christian, disagree with intelligence. Okay, be intellectually wise and matured to put in your own view without being insulting. All right, I see so many people referring to me as an old man. May the Lord make me old. I pray and I desire to be old, because my father was not old before he died. Now, but if you think I'm an old man, address me as an old man and respect me as an old man. But if you think that using gutter language is the best thing for you, I want to put it to you, you are not a Christian. You are a child of the devil. God bless you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till I come your way again, I remain that your brother in the Lord. And from me to you, shalom.